so very much to do. I would linger a while and gaze into your lovely eyes of blue. Then I'd walk for a mile and come running back to be with you. Then the waves would make a pair of willing slaves of you and me forever. And for days and days and days we'd never gaze at where the ships go sailing by. On a coconut island I'd like to be a castaway with you. On a coconut island I'd realize my dreams come true. Would make a pair of willing slaves of you and me forever. And for days and days and days we'd never gaze at where the ships go sailing by. On a coconut island I'd like to be a castaway with you. On a coconut island and realize my dreams come true. Coconut island, I'd like to be a castaway with you. On a coconut island, there wouldn't be so very much to do. I would linger a while and gaze into your lovely eyes of blue. Then I'd walk for a mile and come running back to be with you. Then the waves would make a pair of willing slaves of you and me forever. And for days and days and days we'd never gaze at where the ships go sailing by. On a coconut island I'd like to be a castaway with you. On a coconut island I'd realize my dreams come true. days and days and days we'd never gaze at where the ships go sailing by on a coconut island. I'd like to be a castaway with you on a coconut island and realize my dreams come true. Coconut Island, I'd like to be a castaway with you. On a coconut island, there wouldn't be so very much to do. I would linger a while and gaze into your lovely eyes of blue. Then I'd walk for a mile and come running back to be with you. Then the waves would make a pair of willing slaves of you and me forever. And for days and days and days we'd never gaze at where the ships go sailing by on a coconut island. I'd like to be a castaway with you on a coconut island. I'd realize my dreams come true.
G'day. G'day. Okay. Here we are. So, hopefully we're all working. Drop a note in the comments chat window there. In the chat window, let me know you can hear me. So thank you for those folks that are live in the room, and for those folks that, hello to those folks who are watching in catch-up mode, which will probably be the majority of you, I expect. As apologies that this was a very short notice thing to put on. But it's New Year's Day here, coming up to the end of New Year's Day, and my mind has been turning to what to do with Ukes Alive. In the coming year, I've got a few ideas that I'd like to share and get some feedback on, and most importantly, to get some of your ideas. To that end, in the description below, there's a link to a short survey. It's only short, a few questions. If I could ask you please to go to that link at some point. It's going to be open for 2 weeks, so you've got time to think through some of the things we'll chat about tonight, and put some of your own thoughts together, and then maybe do the survey for me. So I'll leave it open for a couple of weeks. And then I'll have a look and see what I got back. But, I see you've got a few in the room. G'day, Trevor, Sharon, Mandy. A few folks coming on board. It's always a bit of a challenge working out when to put a session like this on, because a lot of my subscribers, and we're heading up to 1,000 now. Would you believe it? It's really taking off. We're getting a few a day, and last time I looked, it was 777. But we're getting the ramp of people coming on board is going up and up. So we must be doing some things right. One of the things you need to do to keep people engaged is to be putting more material. G'day, Noel. How are you, mate? Good to see you, Noel's with Sharon. Need to be putting more material up there, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But and I want to do some new things, which we'll also talk about. And I'd like, again, to get your feedback on what has been working for you, and what are some of the other things that we might be able to do. So I've put a few little bullet points together here in terms of my planning. Let's see if I can bring them up. Here we go. So planned content for 2024. Up until now, it's been pretty much a one-way street. I put up coaching and play along videos, and you guys watch them and probably play along with them and share them. And that's all very good, and I do get some likes and some comments back. Not a lot, but a few. But by and large, it's one way. And whilst it's providing something of value to you folks, it's not really building a community, which is really what I've got as my first little bullet point up there, building a community. So that's sort of the mission, I think, for 2024, as well as upping the quality and the variety of things that we do. The ultimate aim is to build a community of ukulele players all around the world. And I have about, it's about a bit over a third from the USA, a bit over a third from the United Kingdom, and then about 20% or thereabouts from Australia, and then the rest is about another 15 or 20 countries. And I get comments from people in places you wouldn't believe. But we do extend a long way, so and that's a good thing. But that's one reason why we don't get a lot of people coming onto a live stream this time of the day, because a lot of people over there are, it's at the end of their day, they're tired or they're fast asleep or whatever. I'm not sure what time it is in LA or New York at the moment. But we're certainly getting up there in terms of reach, in terms of numbers, and a lot of likes. Some of the videos have got thousands and thousands of views. I can share that with you later if you like as to which videos are the most popular. The most popular video is Dirty Old Town by far, which is interesting. Dirty Old Town. Other ones up there are Bad Moon Rising was another one. Margaritaville is climbing up there too, with Jimmy Buffett passing this year. But so building a community, you have a think about that, because you are the community out there. And if we can get a bit of a two-way thing happening, and we'll talk about some ways of doing that, it's going to start to build the community. And that's a wonderful thing. So what have I got now? The main bread and butter of what we've been doing here is the coaching and play-along videos. They sort of began, the genesis of all of that was around COVID time in particular. But it was before that. I was doing coaching and play-along videos before that. But when we all went into lockdown in our local ukulele groups here, I decided that why don't we give a go of doing something online that people can join in with. And in particular, the Canberra Ukulele Band, because I live in Canberra Ukulele Band, or CUB, bought into that holus bolus, and they would always join in with those sessions. And obviously, after a little while, I decided, hey, it might be a good idea to make these videos public. So I changed them from unlisted, which means you need a link to find them, to public. I thought, why not share it with the wider world? And after I did that, the subscriptions went up, and comments started coming in. So we're really sharing the love. We've got over 300 videos now, would you believe? And I'm planning to make that a lot more during 2024. I can talk a bit later if you're interested, if you let me know about how I do what I do. But in terms of why I do what I do, I do enjoy teaching. I am certainly a bit of a hack ukulele player. I'm not a picker, I'm a strummer. I'm a strummer-drummer. So for all of my life, I've been a drummer. So I've got, I guess, a good sense of rhythm, which helps. I have tried playing guitar from time to time, but I find the guitar a bit of a challenge. And someone got me to try a uke a few years back, and I fell in love with it. It's only got 4 strings. The chords are easy. The strings are nylon, so they're not going to wreck your fingers. You can take it with you in your back pocket almost. I thought it was just a wonderful little thing. And so I've fallen in love with it, and I'm still in love with it, which is why I do what I do, by and large. But I've got a few talents that I can bring together. I can sing reasonably well. I can play reasonably well. I've got my little kick drum that I sit on that provides some rhythm. And lately I've been also adding synthesized MIDI drums and bass and other instrumentation and harmonies to the videos, just to make them a little bit more interesting and perhaps professional. And I'll continue to do that. So I've got these sort of skills, and also some technical skills to be able to put these videos together, edit them, record them, edit them, do live streams and things with them. So why not use the gifts that we're given and use them to a good end? So all things come together, which prompt me to do what I do and keep doing. And it's you folks that I see out there when I'm leading a group with smiles on your faces and singing in these dark days is really, really, really important. I can't emphasize that enough. In the dark days that we have in terms of conflict and prejudice and racism and all the stupid things that go on, violence, domestic issues, domestic violence, a whole range of things. And I'm not going to bore you with them. You know all the bad things that are happening in the world. Not to mention COVID and things like that, and climate change. Oh, God, shut up, Gary. You're going to make everybody depressed. But when you're playing your ukulele and singing along, you don't go there with your mind, do you? You're in a happy place, and I'm in my happy place, and we need to be there more. And the other thing that singing and dancing and playing an instrument do is they keep dementia at bay. It's a proven fact. When you're learning an instrument, learning a new song, singing, the synapses in your brain are in their happy place, and they're firing all over your brain. They've shown it. They've shown it to be a fact. And so a bit like a healthy diet, keep off that sugar, keep off those carbs, keep on singing and playing, because a healthy body is a healthy mind as well. So keep that dementia at bay. So we've got some comments there. Trevor says here, the videos are fantastic. You can see I can bring these little video comments up. Sorry, the chat comments up down here at the bottom. There's something else I learnt by Googling around the place. Sharon says, coaching and play-along videos are just great. We have learned so much from these. That's great. It's also handy for people that can't get out. They might be in a nursing home or a village. They can't drive. It's a way of, getting access to these things, especially since I've started putting the song sheets available for download in the videos. That's only a relatively recent addition, but that helps. Mandy says she loves the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's a long one, but great for chord change practice. It certainly is. So, what else is on my little list up here? As well as the coach and play videos, the other thing that we've been doing from time to time, as you know, is the live sessions, play-along sessions. Is the main one, play-along sessions. So we play along for about 18 songs for about an hour and a half together, like we would do if we were meeting up in a ukulele group. And I think we will certainly continue to do that. It's been pretty much on a spasmodic basis. I'm not sure if we need to make that a little bit more regular. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I haven't had any comments as to the mix of songs that we do or the level of difficulty. For those sessions, I tend to use set lists that I've put together for our real live Canberra ukulele band. And they tend to be a mixture of genre, levels of difficulty, and like new songs versus old favourites. So we tend to mix it up a little bit. So when we have those sessions, that's why I just tend to use one of the set lists from a face-to-face ukulele session. It's also good practice for those that are in the live session for when they go to the face-to-face. What else have I got here? Something else which I've been thinking about, as well as the play-along sessions, and the one we're doing today is a little bit like what I'm talking about here, which is chat sessions, including guests. So if you go onto YouTube, you've got billions of videos up there with a host chatting about something, like a podcast or a video podcast, or they call them vodcasts. And they'll often bring in a guest with them. Now, I've teed up Mike Kennedy to be my first guest in my first vodcast. And we will chat about various topics and aspects of playing, aspects of music and performance, and maybe other semi-related things. And when I have a guest, I would also like to explore with them their musical journey, why they do what they do, and how they got to be where they are in their little ukulele journey. Because it's interesting to hear from other people. So I'm planning on doing these little uke chat sessions, probably monthly, at a guess, something like that. Once I've got all the infrastructure set up and proven and ready to go, it's not a huge job to put one of those together. We'll have a few bullet points, probably much like I've got up here on the screen, just to keep us on track. But apart from that, the chats will tend to be free-flowing and also driven by questions that come up in the chat. So a lot of people who have guests on board have the live chat happening like we do here now, and people will pose a question. And so we can bring that question into the discussion. And of course, those live sessions live on, so you don't have to be there at the time of broadcast. You can come across them at any time and just sit back and watch. Obviously, you can't comment. But what else have I got here? Just in terms of the play-along sessions and the uke chat sessions, let me know what you think about the format that we could do, the duration, the timing and the frequency. When do we do them? You know, if I was to do them when most of my subscribers are looking at videos, it would be about 7 or 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, which isn't particularly useful for Aussie folks. But that's like about 7, 8, 9 p.m. or something like that at night around the other side of the globe. Which is when people are, you know, cruising the internet, looking at their YouTubes and can sit down with a glass of red and join in. So it's a little bit tricky to try and pick the timing of when we're going to be doing these sessions. So we might do some at one time, some at another time, and we'll just see what works. And if you're fast asleep in bed at 8 o'clock in the morning, you can always watch it in catch-up. So there you go. I will mention again, because we've got a few more people on board here now. In the description below, there's a link to a short survey, which I would ask you to please fill out for me, answer a few questions, and give me as much feedback as you can. It's not urgent. The survey will be open for a couple of weeks, so you've got time to think about it and then go and fill in those few questions. And there's a question at the end for anything else that you might think of that you want to put in there. And you can also offer a comment to this video in YouTube if you wish. If you don't particularly want to do a survey, just if you've got a quick comment and that's all you want to do, maybe just leave it as a comment against this video. Noel. Hello, Noel. The song mixes are a good mix. Let me bring this up. So Noel's with Sharon, so it's not actually Sharon saying this. The song mixes are a good mix of easy and harder. The only small issue is some of the links go to the original tracks in the original key, which may be different to our session key. Yeah, that deserves a little bit of an explanation. When I come up with a song, it's obviously needs to be reasonably easily playable on an ukulele. And some chords are more difficult than others. And if the song is in a key, E flat or something, works well with guitar, it may not work well with ukulele. So I tend to pick the key of the song on two things. One is ease of playing on an ukulele and ease of singing. And of course, that's always a bit subjective too, because I sing in a certain range, but other people might say, oh, that's too low for me, or that's too high for me. Well, there's not much we can do about that. Given that I tend to be leading the singing, I tend to ensure that the song can be sung in the key that I can sing it in. Occasionally, it's a struggle for me too. So if I do a coaching video for it, obviously it's in the same key. Sometimes, as Noel said there, I can find a version in the key that we're doing it in on the ukulele. It may not be the original song, but it can be helpful. So yeah, some songs will always, if I haven't done a coaching video for them, will necessarily point to perhaps the original, which may be in a different key. Two reasons I do those. One is for you to listen to the song if you haven't heard the song before. Get a feel for it, get a feel for the rhythm, maybe sing along with it. And then you can pick up your ukulele and have a go at the song in the key that it's written in for that ukulele song. But at least you will know how the rhythm and the riffs and things go for the song. Obviously, if it's in the same key, it's great to play along with the original. But anyway, that's why that happens. The coaching versions, necessarily will always be in a relative ukulele-friendly key. Having said that, some songs, even when the majority of the song is in an ukulele-friendly key, will throw in a chord that is a bit more challenging and unusual. And that's why the coaching videos are good. It gives you an opportunity to learn a new chord or a new way of playing a chord. I do try, because some chords, most chords you can play in various ways, and sometimes it depends upon the chord you are coming from or the chord that you're about to go to as to which fingering you use to play the chord, as many of you will, of course, know. So it's all a bit of a compromise, really, at the end of the day, isn't it? So give me some feedback on the format, the duration, timing, how often we should do the play-along sessions, and how often we should do the uke chat sessions. Maybe we do one of each every month. Or you might think, no, I'd love to have a play-along session every fortnight. That's possible. I mean, the set lists I come up for Canberra Ukulele Band are essentially fortnightly. So we could potentially do a set every fortnight, and we could call it a coaching session for the Canberra Ukulele Band. Okay, let me see. What else have I got here? Okay, we've got a few more in the room. Welcome to those in the room. Yeah, Trevor's mentioned one here, which I'll bring up. Signing up to YouTube Premium, which I did quite a while ago, is a very good idea. They did put the price up, the subscription price of YouTube Premium, about 30%, I think, recently. But it is a very good idea. And you don't get ads. So when you subscribe to YouTube Premium, you don't get any ads. You can download videos, and you can also have a YouTube video playing and minimize the app, and it keeps playing when it's not in the foreground. And that's kind of handy sometimes. You just want to flick over and do something, or put the phone down and go and do something else for a little bit, but you still want to keep listening to what's happening. That way, YouTube Premium lets you do that, lets you download videos and no ads, which is the real kicker for me. So that's why I went to YouTube Premium. So what else have I got here? Oh yeah, the other thing I do is beginner lessons. So some of you will be aware of this, others may not. But I kind of got the idea that I would like to put a series of lessons together and just start some beginner ukulele lessons. That's all they are. They take somebody who's had no knowledge of an instrument, might think they could never play an instrument or get into any sort of musical thing. Take from that point over a period of 5 weeks to a point where they can join a ukulele group and feel comfortable continuing their journey. So that was the goal. And I've run about 4 or 5 of these series now, 5-week series. I'm going to run another one starting in March sometime. And my goal is to actually come up with a brand new series this time. I've been running the same series now for 4 or 5 lots, but I've learnt from that, and I've learnt some improvements that I can make to the lessons. So the lessons currently sit in video format on Vimeo. And the main reason I do that is because I pay a subscription to Vimeo to use it. But when you watch the videos, the lessons on Vimeo, you don't get any ads. You don't have to pay for anything. It's just Vimeo doesn't serve ads. So I pay a subscription so you don't have to pay. So I'm so generous. Plus the fact, if I come up with a revision of a video, I can upload it and replace the one that's there, and the link stays the same. So if somebody's been using one of the lessons, they don't have to suddenly discover it's broken and have to go and find the new version. So Vimeo has versioning, YouTube doesn't. So that's another reason why I chose Vimeo. But anyway, so that's what the lessons have been. I'm wondering if you can give me some feedback as to whether there's any merit in running some simple beginner ukulele lessons on YouTube as live sessions like this. So we could have a 45-minute session, and it will be focused about a deep dive, maybe focused around one song, but learning a bunch of techniques over that 45 minutes from the beginner perspective and moving it through, again, probably for 5 weeks. That might be a thought. Okay, what have we got here? Mandy says, I've done the survey. Oh, Mandy, hot off the press you are. And suggested maybe some sessions for the intermediate plays to keep us progressing onwards and upwards. I had thought that maybe some of the uke chat sessions could focus on some of the intermediate level skills, or skills that I currently don't cover. For example, if I have Mike Kennedy on, he's particularly good at plucking, finger picking. And so he could do a workshop for us, or maybe a series of workshops, maybe even incorporated in that 5-week thing. I can bring him in and he can give us a short section on developing our finger picking style or something else, or how to play a blues rhythm in various different ways. I know he's pretty good at that too. And there are also many other people that I have around the place. And also, if you're watching this video and you're a bit of a ukulele player or a musician or whatever, and you would like to help me out here and maybe contribute some teaching, I can bring you in. It doesn't matter where you are. The wonders of the interwebs. I can bring you into a live session, a uke chat session, just with me, and you can take on and teach us some skills that you may have, or tell us a little bit about your journey or your life. So I'm on the lookout for chat guests. So if you would like to be part of that and you think you might make an interesting guest, whatever that criteria might be, make a note about that in the survey question at the end. Let me know. And we can start to develop that stream. So that's it for the lessons, I think. ukesalive.com is where you go to register interest for the next series of lessons. So Ukes Alive. I don't think I have a banner here. I don't think I do. What's this one? No, I won't go there now. But Ukes Alive, all one word, ukesalive.com. There's a link there where you can register interest in the beginner ukulele lessons. Sharon made a comment here. What Sharon said? The lessons are great. Oh, Sharon, I'll pay you later. I was on Gary's last lessons and surprised myself. Also very enjoyable. Yeah. We tend to approach our lessons holistically, right, from the body out. We don't do it from the head down. You know, some lessons you go to and you get into musical theory and strumming patterns, up, down, up, down, up. You need some of that, but primarily it's driven holistically from the body. I mean, when you get up and dance, you don't think, I'm going to put my left foot here, I'm going to put my right foot there, unless you're actually in a dance class learning, tango or something. But when you get up to dance, you don't think about it. It's like riding a bike. You let your body do the talking. Yeah? Let your body talk. We were listening, Liz over there, she's listening to me. She's on her sewing machine. She doesn't want to come on here. But we were listening to Olivia Newton-John's video of Let's Get Physical. Yeah, let me hear your body talk. It's a bit like that. So when you're playing the ukulele and you're working out how to strum, you strum as you sing, you let your body do it, you move your body, you listen to the song a few times before you pick up the instrument, and then after a while, you don't overthink it, you let your body drive the rhythm, When you look at people dancing, you look at some of that African tribal dancing with the drums and stuff, their body just takes over. They don't even know what they're doing. That's the same thing with your fingers on the ukulele. It's a dance, isn't it? I only realised this a little while back, but when you're playing the ukulele, it's a dance of the fingers. That's what it is. Your fingers are dancing. Yeah? Think about that. All right. What else have I got here in my little chat thing? Hit me up with any questions if you've got any questions down there. So in terms of the beginner lessons, I did talk about the current format, and I did also talk about whether we do live lessons. So I think I've covered both of those things. Probably not a lot else to think about, actually. Unless you've got some questions. So I've been prattling on for a little bit here. I could probably prattle on a lot longer. But we can just have a little to and fro chat here for a few minutes before we kick it off. Let me get rid of that. What's Mandy said here? I agree. I play instinctively and get the yips when they try to think down, up. Having said that, sometimes it is useful to know what the pattern should be when revisiting the songbook. Yeah, oftentimes when you are learning, when you're starting out, you do need some guidance, and some people, quite a few people actually, do really think they need that down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then after a little while, their body's sort of going choo, 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 down the way where the nights are gay. Cha, 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 ta, 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 ta. Yeah, here I am starting to give a lesson. So I'll shut up. Oh, this is not lesson time. This is not playing time. As Trevor said, holistically, is the word. And that's the way I teach, which is a little bit different to some of the other folks in my area that do teaching. Trevor says, I think it's a great idea at how the hell to do this. That's a topic for another session, I think. I think that's a good topic for maybe one of my Uke chats with somebody as to how you internalise rhythm. Obviously, some people find it easier. If they've got an innate sense of rhythm, then they're, 3 miles ahead. If you don't have a good sense of rhythm, then you are going to have a bit of a harder time learning about rhythm and expressing your rhythm. But it's all doable. And the main thing is that you find something that you can do at a slow tempo and a simple rhythm, and you just do that for a while and become comfortable so that you're not head thinking it, and then start to vary it up a little bit. And what you're doing is forming new synapse connections in your brain. Your brain is forming new neural pathways when you learn new rhythms, when you learn new chord fingerings and things like that. And this is one reason why learning a language, learning an instrument is really, really good for keeping dementia at bay and keeping your brain healthy, because you are challenging your brain in areas that it wouldn't otherwise be challenged. You sit in front of the TV and your brain, 80% of your brain goes to sleep. But when you're learning a new instrument, learning new strumming patterns and rhythms, dancing, your brain lights up. They see it under the functional magnetic resonance images. The whole brain lights up when people play music. So it's a wonderful thing. Before we go, have you got any questions? Just hit me up with any questions. And like I said, do the survey. I would love you to do the survey. There's a link in the description below, and I think in the email that I did send out. So by all means, do that for me. I'd really appreciate it. What about Lai over there? You listening to me, Lai, over there? Yes, she's listening. You got any comments or questions? No, she doesn't. No, she's busy sewing away. What are you doing? You're doing some repairs, are you? Ah, okay. I did try and encourage you to come on screen with me, but she's reneged. All right. Can't see any questions. Any comments, Gary, on practice? So let me pull this one up from Trevor. I prefer playing the songs or maybe just going through the chord lists which you have provided and could possibly be expanded. I think in terms of practice, in light of all that I just said for the last 10 minutes, I agree, Trevor, playing a song is the best thing. Because you've got a structure to hang the next 3 minutes on, right? You've got a song, goes for 3 or 4 minutes. You've got a structure there. Think of it like one of those kids' playgrounds, like a jungle gym that you're going to climb up through the holes, up and around the corners and over the top. You're going to be going through that 3 or 4 minutes, changing chord patterns. The song forces you to change the chord on the beat of the song. And not only that, it's a hell of a lot more fun than sitting around just playing chords. When you're learning, the chord progression videos, which I've put together in the training videos that most of you have seen, they do give you a drill. They do give you a practice in being able to move around the fretboard with your fingers and go from one chord to the next, and back, to the next, and back. Training your fingers, getting that muscle memory into those chording fingers. So those drills are very good, but they're a bit boring and not much fun. So I think playing to a song, by all means find a song that is on the hit parade that you like, or an oldie, goldie thing. Play it on your, whatever you play your music on, and then just pick up your ukulele. Find one in the right key, song that is, and have a go at playing along with it. Or there's over 300 videos on my Ukes Alive YouTube channel. You can play along with any of those. I might actually make a note. I've actually got some paper and a pencil here myself. So I'm going to make a note for all those videos that I've got up there, hundreds of them, I might put out an index which shows things like the difficulty, level of difficulty, and the actual chords used. So that way, if you say, I'd really like to learn how to play a B seventh in different ways, or an F minor in different ways, you can scan through there and find all the songs that have an F minor in them. That's probably the best thing to do. I did have a go at doing this once, but I then got sidetracked into other things and haven't maintained it. So I've written a list here, action items for me, action items, Uke Master. Come up with an index of those videos, which includes the chords used. Alrighty, so I think that's Trevor's question. Anything else? I'll play some thinking music for 30 seconds. Alrighty, we've been running for about 45 minutes, so I think that's probably long enough. I'll give it another 10 or 15 seconds to see if there's any other questions. And then we'll call it a night. And once again, a final plea to have a go at the survey. Or if you're not into surveys and you just want to leave a few little comments, by all means leave them as comments on this video. And I'll pick them up and I'll look at every one and I shall respond. So, good to go? I think we're good to go. There's Noel. There are dozens of backing tracks. Now let me bring up Noel's comment. Dozens of backing tracks for various music genres on YouTube. These are excellent for chord changing practice. We have been using these extensively, 4 or 5 chords in something, 4 or 5 chords in VAR. I think we ran out of text somewhere there. Yeah, backing tracks, I've actually done a couple of coaching and play-along videos where I've actually gone and brought down there are some sites where you can bring down backing tracks for all the instrumentation and harmonies and all of that. And 1 or 2 songs that I've done, I experimented with those. And they're quite good. But I think I'm going to settle on, for my videos, obviously vocals in ukulele. And I think most of them I'll be bringing in MIDI drums and bass guitar and possibly 1 or 2 other instruments if it calls for it. For example, there is one video I've got up there, you might want to visit it. It's one of my favourites, Dead Skunk. In there, if you listen, you will find not only the instruments I mentioned, but you'll find a banjo, because the song called for a banjo. Out of interest, my next song that I'm going to do in the next few days is Back in the USSR by the Beatles. I reckon that'll be a cracker, and I'm looking forward to doing that. The more songs I record, the quicker I'm going to get at it. So the more I'll get up there. Because if you don't do any for a while, you learn, you forget how to use the various tools that are required to put it all together. There's a digital audio workbench or a DAW that we use to do all the video stuff, and then there's to do all the audio stuff, and then to do the video stuff, I use Final Cut Pro, which is another workbench for video, and we just have to sort of bring it all together. But all good stuff, all good fun. So there is heaps of really good people on YouTube. Ukulele Zen. Look up Stu Fuchs, his name is Fucks, I think is how you spell it. Ukulele Zen. I love Steve because of his vibe. He's very holistic and comes from the body and is just a lovely, gentle soul. So I recommend his YouTube channel. He does a lot of very good teaching. Cynthia Lynn was another one. And there are heaps of them, as I'm sure you know. And they're all far better players than I am. But I do my little bit and hopefully help a few beginners along their journey. All right, I'm going to say good night. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for those that are watching in catch-up. Obviously, I couldn't say hello in real time, but I'll say hello to you now. Hi. And I will see you probably in the next coaching and play-along video. And hopefully before too long, we'll do another live session because I think they're fun. And I'm going to be doing my first Uke Chat podcast or vodcast with probably Mike Kennedy. I think is going to be my first guest colleague of mine. And I think he's got a lot to offer for us. And again, if you've got something you would like to offer for us and become a guest on my podcast in the new year, let me know. A brief description of what it is you think you can bring to the discussion or the teaching or whatever. It would be great to have a few people on board. The more the merrier. And it's all about, remember what I said at the beginning? Building community. That's the goal for 2024 is building the community, not just a bunch of subscribers, not just a bunch of me producing stuff and you guys consuming it. I want it to become a community because that's what we need in this world right now. So having said that, I'm going to click this little button that hopefully will take us out. So see you around like a rissole.